Chris, if you had the chance to have an actual honest conversation with some of these guys that make all these negative posts and videos about you, what do you think you would say to them? If they're like normal and sane, they weren't like so out of their mind. The other thing is, the people that have, these negative videos and posts and stuff, I get the game. Like a lot of them, it's their only way to make money. So I get it. Get your money. They do videos about everybody. So I get all that. My thing to them is like, I mean, I guess they're just happy with the YouTube revenue, but it's like, man, you guys clearly have skill to edit. You're good with thumbnails. You're good with all this stuff, and you're putting time into it for longevity. And maybe you're just happy with the whatever it is, 3, 4, or 5 grand a month. But if you actually did something that was positive and creative, because what they're doing is not creative, but clearly they're creative people. If you just put that energy into something like, man, you'd have sponsors and people would get on board and collab and people would want to work with you. So, but some of those people, that's just not their thing. They want to be negative and that's all they want to do. So it's just part of the game, man. It's what you sign up for. What can you do?
But especially when they're focused on one person and that's their thing, it's kind of like, dude, move on. You're focusing on one person constantly.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a few weirdos who just focus on me. But even with those weirdos, it's like they'll focus on Bert Kreischer or Schulte or anybody just to get the views.
Yeah,
I don't do much these days. I do MMA shit. I work out and I coach my kids' team. So I'm not really fun to do anymore. When I was doing stand-up and I was in the scene, I get it. Now, they're not getting their views they need. So, the toss in some Bert and Schulte and Theo and whoever, Rogan especially. So it just is how it goes, man. Dig Big Bandit. Any thoughts on peptides? Which ones have you taken and have they worked well for you? Yeah, I love peptides. This day and age, there's no reason not to be in shape, especially if you have access to peptides and shit. And there's so much knowledge online and stuff like that. So the excuse of just not knowing what to do is just laziness. So with peptides, BC157 for injuries is great. Glutathione's great. Tesamorlin's great. Obviously, I shout for the rooftop about TRT, especially for dudes over 30, especially if you have a sports background. It's not really a peptide, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, they work great. They just help. And then also when you're on that stuff, you want to eat healthy. You want to work out because you're like, man, I don't want to freaking waste my time taking these shots or whatever it is and not get the benefits out of it. So it kind of kicks your ass in gear. That's what it did for me. Ben, how do you like your level of fame? How much of your life is actually private? If you could press a button and become unknown, what would you do? Or would you do it? How do you like your level of fame? I've said this for a hot second. I don't feel famous. I don't think I'm famous. I've seen different levels of fame, obviously with my friends. So there's like Rogan famous, which is a curse. Obviously, he has all the money in the world. He has the biggest show, but he can't go anywhere. He can't do anything. He can't do, he can't go to the grocery store. He can't go to the movies. His kids are older, but if you say we swapped levels of fame, he ain't coaching his kids' team. He ain't showing up to the ballpark. He can't, And then he also, especially the fields he's in and some of the stuff he talks about or people he has on, there's people that want to, threaten his life and stuff like that. So he has 4 Navy SEALs with him at all times. That would be exhausting. It's not for me. If I had a certain level of comfortability financially, I mean, I wouldn't even have a phone. I wouldn't be on any social media. I wouldn't be on the internet. I would just do my thing, But like my level of fame, okay, let's say you think I'm at some level of fame. I guess I'm at a perfect level. Like nobody harasses me. I don't have any stalkers that drive by the house or do any of that shit. People see me at the ballpark or the fields all the time. They're just like, Schaub, what up? Love your stuff, and then they keep it moving. So I'm good. I'll take a few pictures every day, but it's nothing like out of control. You know, I can't imagine what some people deal with. It can't be fun, man. It just can't. There's no way. There's no way.
Brendan Schaub talking about the haters who make YouTube videos about him. And I think Chin more specifically talking about me. You have to understand something. Why would I, or especially like American Redact or Too Lazy to Try or Podcast Cringe or anybody else, listen to a guy who gets less views than all of us? Why would we listen to you about how to do the thing that obviously, especially those guys, are way better at than you? You never even really earned anything. You got an audience because you're Joe Rogan's best friend and you did a show with Brian Callen. You by yourself, the only views you got are people hating you. And we only know who you are because my first ever video about Brendan Schaub was someone brought to my attention, do you know who Brendan Schaub is? I go, no. And they were like, oh, he's Joe Rogan's best friend. And he kind of outed him that he's out there slinging dick. And I was like, excuse me? And they're like, here, watch this clip. And I saw the clip, and that was my first Schaub video. Then I got delved into the deep mind of this redact and how dumb he was. But even after all of that, he still wasn't my main focus. I mean, let me assure you and everybody in the comments who are like, if Schaub goes away, what are you going to do? Schaub sued me and got my original channel taken down. It's back now. When I was on the growth. You have to remember, when Schaub sued me, all the channels you watch now, like Too Lazy Podcast, and all those channels did not exist. All those channels were birthed out of Schaub suing me. And you have to remember, when Schaub sued me, during the entirety of that lawsuit, I was not allowed to use any of Schaub's content because we were in litigation. So those other channels blew up because they could play Schaub saying something stupid and comment on it. I could only comment on it. But when Schaub sued me, I didn't care. My main videos were Joe Budden videos. By the way, that whole world can thank me. If you watch Chig Smooth, you're welcome. If you go to the beginning of Chig Smooth, where do you think he was getting all his Joe Budden Patreon content from? Me. Remember, I was the one who had on YouTube Rory Amal's response to Joe Budden that they put behind the paywall. I stuck it on YouTube. That video got millions of fucking views. So my focus since the lawsuit has been on Schaub, but don't think for a second that when Schaub's done, I can't just start talking about other people I talk about. I might drop a video if I feel like it about Tyrese going on Joe Budden today, and I pay attention to all of it, people. I pay attention to all of it. I just make videos about what I want to make videos about. And I'm in a position to where, and this is Schaub, when he made his little comment, you know, your little $5,000 a month, whatever he thinks that I make. God, by the way, the other dudes make way more than Schaub does now. Money's really not that important to me. I'm really not that greedy. To be honest with you, I kind of come from a family, kind of has some, kind of got, family. If I ever really needed to, just call up, go work at my uncle's place, like everyone else in my. So he's in a fucked position to where I haven't needed money since I was about 22 years old. So I've got the time to do this. But that's just me. I want to know your thoughts in the comments, though, about if you agree with Schaub. I know some of you do. Plus, another thing too is on one of my Schaub videos, people be like, "All your videos are about Schaub." Whereas no, all the videos of mine that you watch are about Schaub. I make videos about other people. You just don't watch them about other people. Other people do, but I mean, if you are every month, I get my analytics. Don't think that I don't know that all of my biggest videos every month have nothing to do with Schaub. You don't think I don't know, dude. I do I have to go into the lore of me for people? You do know that, like, I did used to work with Bill Burr on the YouTube side, and I had to stop doing that. But, like, my first video that got 1 million views is when Bill Burr shit on AOC back in the day. But, like, I didn't want to do that because I just didn't want to become Bill Burr's YouTube guy, in which he would set up a thing where I would basically just be a Bill Burr clipper and not talk. Just literally clip his stuff and he would add revenue share with me. I just didn't want to be a clipper. I don't think I'm particularly a good editor. And at the time, you know, once again, if you get into the lore of me, my kids were too young, right? I would never have been allotted the time during the day to do any of what would need to be done to do that. But so many iterations, but this guy, the hater, dude, tomorrow I could stop talking about you and just shit on Bert Kreischer. Dude, the second, I could just start trashing Wes Watson. Don't think I don't see that shit and whoever that idiot is, and probably be bigger. But you had to sue me. You technically, Schaub, you're forcing me to talk about you. You're still appealing the lawsuit. Trust me, I have to think about you every day because I'm still involved with you in a legal process, even though you lost the lawsuit. God knows how much money you spent. How much money do you think you have to pay a lawyer for, how long has he been suing me for? Since 2021 or something? 2020? He lost, appealed. The appeal's still going. So, I don't want to hear, what do you still say? Every day, I have to think about this idiot because I have to go into my email. Did the appeal court send me a decision on this and that? And everything. But, like everything else too, Schaub, be careful what you wish for. The last thing you want is for, maybe not me, but for, I don't know, Too Lazy or Podcast Cringe or American Redact or all the other guys. The day we stop talking about you, that's a day that you're really not going to like. Let me assure you, Opie would love for me to start talking about him again. But I don't. Like, trust me, I've had plenty of calls from people in the Dabbleverse. Kyle, please come back into the world you created and fix everything and get me. And I'm like, eh. And with those guys, there is some stuff I'd like to clean up in that universe there, but I don't have the time and effort right now to do it. But yeah, and there a lot of gay ops and stuff. And when the fuck did Mersh get into the Dabbleverse? I kind of like that though. That's someone in the Dabbleverse. I'm like, yeah, Mersh, can you try and clean up some of the shit in there? But eventually I'll get in there probably. But yeah, Schaub, as in regards to the haters and everything, tough shit, buddy. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.